भगवान श्री योगी राम सूरत कुमार की जय। योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, जय गुरु राया। योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, जय गुरु राया। योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, जय गुरु राया। योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, जय गुरु राया। राम ராம 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 ராம் ராம ராம ராம் ராம 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 ராம் ராம 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 ராம் ராம 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 ராம் ராம ராம ராம் Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Yogi Ram Yogi Ram Yogi Ram Tilakkama, Yogi Ram Tilakkama, Yogi Ram Tilakkama, Jai Guru Raya. Yogi Ram Tilakkama, Yogi Ram Tilakkama, Yogi Ram Tilakkama, Jai Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Rama Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Ram. Yogi Ram Tilakkama, Yogi Ram Tilakkama, Yogi Ram Tilakkama, Jai Guru Raya. Tilakkama, Yogi Ram Tilakkama, Yogi Ram Tilakkama. Yogi Ram Tilakkama, Yogi Ram Tilakkama, Yogi Ram Tilakkama, Jai Guru Raya. Yogi Ram Tilakkama, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Rama Ram, Yogi Ram Tilakkama, Yogi Ram Tilakkama, Yogi Ram Tilakkama, Jai Guru Raya. Yogi Ram Tilakkama, Yogi Ram Tilakkama, Yogi Ram Tilakkama, Jai Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama. Yogi Ram Tilakkama, Yogi Ram Tilakkama, Yogi Ram Tilakkama, Jai Guru Raya. Yogi Ram Tilakkama, Yogi Ram Tilakkama, Yogi Ram Tilakkama. Yogi Ram Tilakkama, Yogi Ram Tilakkama, Yogi Ram Tilakkama, Jai Guru Raya. Yogi Ram Tilakkama, Jai Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Rama Rama Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Yogi Ram Tilakkama, Yogi Ram Tilakkama, Yogi Ram Tilakkama, Jai Guru Raya. Yogi Ram Tilakkama, 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 Jai Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Yogi Ram Tilakkama, Yogi Ram Tilakkama, Yogi Ram Tilakkama, Jai Guru Raya. Yogi Ram Tilakkama, Yogi Ram Tilakkama, Yogi Ram Tilakkama, Jai Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Rama Rama Rama. Yogi Ram Tilakkama, Yogi Ram Tilakkama, Yogi Ram Tilakkama, Jai Guru Raya. Yogi Ram Tilakkama, Yogi Ram Tilakkama, Jai Guru Raya. Yogi Ram Tilakkama, Yogi Ram Tilakkama, Yogi Ram Tilakkama, Jai Guru Raya. Yogi Ram Tilakkama, Yogi Ram Tilakkama, Jai Guru Raya.
भगवान श्री योगी राम सूरत कुमार की जय। सर्वं योगी राम सूरत कुमारार्पणमस्तु। His boundless grace, which has made it possible for all of us to sing His powerful name for 1 hour. We have to celebrate it. It's no small grace. Deep gratitude. We have offered the Nama Sankirtan as Nama lotuses at His lotus feet. And along with that, let's continue to offer the Seva lotuses as well. That is being an instrument in His hands. We have seen how we are instruments. We've gone through all those details again and again several times. So now, all that we have to do is chant His name and offer every action at His feet. Today, it says Gita Jayanti, that is the day Bhagavad Gita was born. After 18 chapters of elaborate descriptions by Lord Krishna to Arjuna, who is our representative, finally, the one sloka that explains it all is Sarvadharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Raja Aham Tva Sarva Papebhyo Mokshesha Mashucha. He says, the beginning, you do like this, you do like that. This is being sattvic and that's being rajasic. This is being tamasic. He goes on elaborating on every quality and every austerity, every dharma. But finally, he ended up in this sloka where he says, all the dharmas surrender to me, because surrendering to my will is the highest dharma. Everything else is relative and lower dharma, the highest being complete surrender to me. And when you do that, what will I do? I will release you from all the sins you have committed, all these lives. Do not doubt it. It sounds very easy, but the practitioners know how difficult it is to keep submitting to the will of God. How do we know what the will of God is? Whatever life brings to you, be it a joy or sorrow, that is God's will. Because everything happens according to the will of God. And submitting to it without reacting, knowing that whatever He does is the best for us. And it's only when we interfere, we mess up things, we make them more complicated, though we think that what we think is the best. I remember Bhagwan used to tell us when we bought this garden opposite to Sudama, and it was full of wild plants. Naturally, if we wanted to plant some good ones, we had to remove all those wild plants. But then he gave us a very severe instruction. He said, don't touch any of them. Don't cut them off. Leave them as they are. So we left it. After buying the land for so many lakhs of rupees, we could do nothing about it. We just let those wild plants and trees to grow. But then later, a few years after, when Veda Pathshala had to be built, Bhagwan said, this is the heart of the ashram. And he sat there in front of that library building, and he was doing his divine supervision of the construction work which was being done by Sri Anjaneyulu. And he finished that building. It was a record break. 3 months, he handed over the key to Bhagwan. Now, before they started the construction of Veda Pathshala library, there were a few plantain saplings. They had already been planted there. They were little ones, so beautiful to look at. But then if they were going to build something there, they had to remove it. I was thinking that Bhagwan would not allow it, because he did not allow us to remove those wild plants. So how would he allow those little ones to be removed? But you know what Bhagwan said? If we have to build a Veda Pathshala, we can remove not just 3, even if there are 3,000 saplings, we can remove them, because building Veda Pathshala is higher dharma. So there are relative dharmas, one being superior to the other, and the most superior is the one of surrender to the will of God. We see in the lives of many saints how they would leave their parents, ailing and old parents, or wife and children, to pursue a life after God. And they were accepted by the divine, for a life in God is the highest dharma, before which every other dharma can be violated. So, in that couplet, Sarva Dharman Parityajya, all the dharmas, whatever you consider as dharma, your duty towards parents, your duty towards your wife and children, or to the husband and the children, all that can be disregarded when it comes to complete surrender to the will of God, which would mean you can live in the streets and from moment to moment, whatever comes your way, that you adopt, without questioning, without doubting, believing that everything comes from the source, meant for you, and you don't grumble. You would see it in the life of Papa Ramdas, how he kept chanting Ram Naam. At the same time, he addressed everybody else as Ram. And whatever happened, he accepted it as the will of God and therefore a blessing. So, let us recall, this is exactly what happened to our Bhagwan also during his wandering days. I used to quote a particular incident that when he was beaten up very cruelly by some thugs of the street, in Tiruvannamalai while he was wandering, the penniless beggar. His shirt was torn in several places and blood was oozing from the wounds. His few possessions, some newspapers and a coconut shell and a broken hand fan, they were all snatched away and thrown all around. He was beaten up unscrupulously. And he said 20 people had gathered there to watch the show, and some of them had come to him already seeking blessings, but still they would not come forward to help. He simply submitted to the beatings, and when someone known to him came running, and those thugs ran away, and his friend at the time, an attendant, Perumal, said, "Swami, let me go after them and beat them up nicely so they wouldn't ever touch you again." You know what Bhagavan said? They have come to do this work and they have done it. They have done their work. We have come to do Father's work. We will do Father's work. This is submission. He didn't say it when he was comfortably seated in a chair with all the comforts around. He said it when he was beaten up so cruelly. His kurta torn in several places, and there were wounds all over, blood oozing out. And his only possessions, the coconut shell and a broken hand fan, snatched away ruthlessly. So this is surrender to the will of God. Accepting it, Bhagavan often said, wherever Father keeps this beggar and Devaki, we will not only accept it wholeheartedly, but be grateful to God for that. For whatever Father does is a blessing. Whatever happens is grace. Whatever happens is perfect. For Father is perfect, His Leela is perfect. We shall now offer our today's prayer. Bhagavan, we beg you again and again, for that's all we can do, and we do it a million times, for your immediate divine intervention to bring forth a dharmic normalcy to today's world of violence. Now when I pray like this, the question comes, why wouldn't we let it go? Why should we pray at all? Then what is the point in praying? Because in prayer we want to change. We want to change the circumstances. We want to change the flow of life. But then, even the prayers are arranged by Him. Bhagavan often said, every detail of everybody's life is being arranged by Father, the Supreme Father. And so, if a prayer comes to you, even this prayer is being arranged by Him. And our job is to only pray and leave the result to Him. Whatever be the result, our job is only to pray, because the prayer has come to us from the source, and we have to go with the flow of life. So there are, again, paradoxes. Like we say, man proposes, God disposes. Then it seems there are two wills, the will of man and the will of God. Bhagavan always said, even the will of man was willed by God. So there is no contradiction. God wills that man should will differently, and then he disposes. So everything is run by God's will. There is only one will at work all the time. All the same, the prayers have come to us from Bhagavan, which means it has its place in the scheme of things of the divine scheme of things. So let's go ahead with the prayer, Bhagavan. You are the cosmic controller. The violent incidents that happen all around are frightening. We seek your blessings. Please bring in peace, unity, discipline, control, and harmony into the lives of people so that people live a dharmic life with remembrance of God. For the goal of life is God. All that we have to do is keep trying. And the very trying is its own fulfillment. It doesn't matter what turns up by God's will. And Bhagavan, we beg you again to stop those violent wars which have been going on long enough with disastrous effects. And we pray to you that peace be prevalent, peace and harmony be prevalent. And we also pray to you to bless the whole world, all the countries, so that there will be no thought of war at all in any human mind. And we beg you to keep under control all those vicious diseases and violent furies of nature and those devastating accidents. We also pray to you above all that you uproot all the negativities of human mind which are responsible for the violence of the world today. Whichever country people belong to, whatever language they speak and whatever religion they have embraced, they all have to, everyone without exception, have to go through the effects of their past karmas, be it a joy or grief. For the law of karma is divine justice and no one can escape it. It cannot be bought with money or power. It's precise and relentless. But then above all this is the costless grace. That's where the prayer comes. Let's appeal to the compassion and generosity of Bhagavan, his costless grace, that he should reach out to all those people all over the world who have been suffering from some punishment or the other, without help or protection. We also beg you, Bhagavan, to protect all those unselfish people who have been working hard for the welfare of the others. From what? From unworthy, unhealthy criticisms and aspersion. We also pray to you to promote the economy of this country and the growth in varied fields of activity so that India would reach that high status of world teacher to conduct the whole world in the path of dharma. We also pray to you in all earnestness for ceaseless and joyful chanting of your powerful name and unbroken remembrance of your leelas and teachings so that we assimilate it and make it into our Atma Shakti. Please bless us to be only sattvic instruments in your hands and not rakshasic at all. Please bless our everyday life so that we run it as an offering to you and not be caught by the temptations of Maya. We also seek that ultimate state of being, the state of bliss and peace, the state of pure awareness of yours. But then we know that our minds have to be purified before that, because the minds are full of residual, latent tendencies of the past karmas, and there is so much of world which has already entered into it. And what does it happen? How does it affect us? We get carried away by a vicious fear and anger like poison, and words of abuse like fire, jealousy, vengeance, passion, and above all, dukkha, that is sorrow. No matter how much we have all been blessed with comforts of life, health, and everything that we could possibly think of, we still start grumbling because we find something that we are lacking in after comparing ourselves with other people. And then we project it all the time. We think again and again and again, unable to come out of this thought, and finally land in depression and medicine. Bhagwan, you have made your divine declaration. You said, the name of God is a very powerful weapon which can destroy all our bad karmas. It can, in fact, destroy all the karmas, bad and good. And it can destroy the vasanas, the leftover tendencies of the past karmas, so that the mind would be free from thoughts. It will be a mind of supreme silence, where there will be no thoughts. You have also said the Nama chanting is like an umbrella in the pouring rain. And like the chappals, the slippers that we wear while the sun is burning hot. We cannot change the sun, nor can we change the rain or the weather. But one umbrella over our head, we can comfortably go out. We seek refuge in your powerful name and beg you for our early purification. And Bhagavan, wherever we live, whatever work falls into our hand as our duty, we know it's all your work, and we should be able to do it as your service, and that joyfully, without any complaint or unhealthy comparison, so that every action that we do will turn into Atma Shakti. Whatever life brings to us, be it a joy or grief, as I said before, it comes because of your will, and it's based upon our karmic account. But then it's your will, the divine will, and therefore it must carry a blessing meant for our spiritual transformation, for our greater good, for our closer kinship with God. So let us learn to look upon every adversity as a great blessing in disguise. Bhagavan Krishna says, Sarvadharman Parityajya. This is part of that surrender. No matter what comes to us from the source as a happening in life, if we learn to accept it as God's will and therefore a definite blessing. Why blessing? Because the mind will not accept anything which is not a blessing, which is not a profit. And so we look upon it as a blessing which is also true. This is an assumption based upon truth. So this assumption will work. And how? Every adversity will end up in a higher wisdom, and that would purify our heart. And then God's power will take root. We beg you, Bhagavan, to bless us all to be grateful to you, no matter how many adversities we have to face, how many challenges we have to face in life. We also seek your powerful blessings for all the species of the cosmos to be lifted to a higher plane. And finally, we seek redemption, liberation from the vicious cycle of continuous births and deaths. We are, at one time or the other, we all become sick of it. The very thought of birth repels us. And what is the root cause of this? Ahambhav, the utter selfishness, the I and mind that rule all our lives. We beg you, Bhagavan, to uproot this ahambhav and promote atmabhavam so that we all be blessed with that immortal life, that eternal living in eternal you, or eternal surrender to you who is eternal and supreme, the one divinity, the Parabrahman. We beg you on this day of Gita Jayanti to dissolve us all in your vast expanse of pure awareness. Jai Yogi Ram Sarat Kumar.